beginning 2022 off by talking about yet another series that Big Idea Studios has made. We've talked about VeggieTales plenty of times before on The Captivating Christian, but to start 2022 off, we're going to be talking about their other big series, 321 Penguins. Three, Two, One Penguins was the second big series that Big Idea had aside from VeggieTales. And then later they had the Larry Boy cartoon as well. I guess. Even though that was only 4 episodes. Despite Phil Vischer and Mike Naraki having some involvement, this series actually spawned a lot from the other Big Idea staff members while they were busy working on Jonah. Hence why we didn't get a lot of VeggieTales episodes between 2002 to 2003. The series went on for a while when Big Idea was still on its own and independent, but it eventually came to an end. However, the show was eventually picked up by NBC and ran for 2 seasons, and then it stopped again. So let me get this straight. Every non-Christian and hedonistic film series and franchise can have some kind of revival or remake or reboot or soft C-boot, as it were, but 321 Penguins can't? Is there any justice in this world? What exactly happened to this series? Well, let's take a look at its first episode and find out. This is 321 Penguins, Trouble on Planet Wait Your Turn. We begin with the show's theme song. Even if you haven't watched this show, you probably have heard this amazing theme song. I would play the thing in full, but I don't want to get hit by YouTube's big tech censorship or anything. Even though the Rocketeer Decision video was taken down because of BS copyright reasons. Haven't forgotten about that one, YouTube. This isn't even a bit, I'm serious. That video went down for no reason. Who is copywriting Rocketeer Decision? The show proper begins with a little boy and girl named Jason and Michelle as they're being dropped off at their grandmom's house. Not grandmother, grandmom. For some reason they use some kind of European pronunciation, while the parents are off on vacation. Jason whines for a little bit about how this will be lame, so his parents give him one of those murder simulators they call VeggieTales. It seems neither of the kids will be able to play since the TV is too old and crashes the console. After they're about to eat some kidney pie for dinner, delicious, the kids notice 4 penguin toys and want to play with them. Or at least Michelle does while Jason is bored. They both head up to the attic and find photos of their grandfather as well as his old telescope.
You got to try the video game first.
It's an even look. I get to go first.
Do not.
Stop. You're gonna break it.
You stop. Okay. Look, I'm the oldest. I get to decide.
Huh? By 5 minutes, big whoop.
It's okay, Jason. Just watch the VeggieTales episode about patience. If there's anything to take away from this episode, it's that if you're willing to wait, then your work will be great. But enough of that, the penguins come to life and operate a spaceship as they head off on some kind of space mission, bringing Jason along with them.
Get in here, Jason. The galaxy waits for no man.
What? I can't. I'm too big.
Ah, too big. When I was your size, I was twice your size.
I get it. So we get to know our penguin characters a little better. Zigil is the captain, Midgel is the pilot, Fidgel is the science twist, and Kevin is a goober. Their mission is on the planet Wait Your Turn, and yes, that is really the name, but they're not sure why, since the ink in their fax machine was running low. Did you know this came out in the year 2000? They have a rather rough landing, and somehow these people who have been traveling around space for a living have never heard of landing gear once Jason suggests it.
Landing gear? No matter. Here we are.
Quite. And as the ship's scientist, I should go out first.
As the ship's engineer, I should go first.
As captain, I'll go first.
Yeah, I hate to play favoritism here, but typically speaking, the captain usually goes first. Though, if someone other than the captain was gonna go first, could it please be Kevin? Thank you. Oh, and everyone on this planet is an impatient vacuum who is cutting in line for a giant telescope.
Kind of odd behavior for a planet called Wait Your Turn.
They're all cutting in line. They're barbarians. Back to the ship.
I agree, let's just go home. Oh.
Excuse me, but how long has all this cutting been going on?
Oh, it all started when President No, I'm the President took office.
Pushed his way in the office, you mean?
Fear not, good vacuums. We have heard your distress signal, and we are here to help.
What? Oh, you're the guys from the Federation. We didn't call about the cutting line.
Larry the Cucumber? In vacuum form? Is it really you? What is the deal?
We called you about the heat.
Anyway, it turns out the penguins weren't called in because of the cutting in line, but rather because of the increasing heat, which seems to be caused by the planet itself trying to gyp other planets. And it seems our heroes are starting to get infected by the impatience bug.
Me first!
Me first!
Me first!
We're all gonna die if we keep this up.
Oh, this is the first episode, and they're the main characters. They can't be game-ended so soon. But Jason offers the others to go first, which cures everyone on the planet of their impatience. As Michelle continues to tease Jason about the telescope, it's revealed that Jason was just daydreaming. Or was he? As we end the episode with a bedtime prayer.
Dear God, thank you for Mom and Dad.
And keep them safe on their trip.
Thank you for Grandma and her cottage.
And for the really cool spaceship in the attic.
And for the telescope that I got to use first.
And thank you for helping me learn to be patient. But please teach Michelle something next time.
So that was the first episode of 321 Penguins, and for a first episode, it's pretty good. I'd probably put it on the same level as Where's God When I'm Scared in terms of episodes. It's serviceable as a first episode. It really introduces everybody to the world of what they're trying to set up with this show. Some of the jokes might be a little hit or miss with some people. It doesn't really have the same signature silliness as VeggieTales. That said, there were a few jokes that really had me laughing. Some people might also say something along the lines of, there's nothing wrong with this being a Christian show. In fact, it's one of the better ones. It's like VeggieTales in that regard. But the whole thing with them doing the prayer at the end just kind of feels like a really cheap way just to be like, oh yeah, by the way guys, just so you Christian audiences remember, this is a Christian show here. I honestly had no problem with that whatsoever. Animation was as good as Big Ideas Studios animation was in the 2000s. It was good for what it was at the time. It would certainly get better as later episodes came out, like most series do. Overall, this was definitely an enjoyable first episode of this series. Will I ever do more episodes on 321 Penguins in the future? Well, maybe. We'll just have to wait and see. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for tuning in for today's video of The Captivating Christian. Look forward to next month when we're going to be talking about a film from one of the best filmmakers around, Tyler Perry. But until then, may Jesus be with you.
Hello there, Space Cadet.
Hey, Bob! They've got arms!